Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So Jermall Charlo is back at it. He took to his Instagram Live to express his grievances with Showtime Sports. At this point, I believe someone really needs to take away Jermall Charlo's phone. But Jay, does he have a point in regards to some of the comments that he made? Now, we know that there is a big fight coming up on November 25th, live from the Mandalay Bay. I think it's the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. And supposedly, Jermall Charlo is on the undercard facing Jose Benavidez. And Jermall has expressed his disappointment, if you will, in Showtime Sports and the fact that they have not announced the fight, provided a press conference, promoted the fight, whatever you want to call it. And he says something to the effect of, they haven't done a press conference for me. They haven't done anything for me. That's a quote. If you want to go and hear what he had to say, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of channels that have that content up. So go check it out. But he specifically said that they didn't do anything for him, or they haven't done anything for him.
Yep.
Now, we know that PBC, at least this is my opinion. I can't necessarily state this as fact, but it's my opinion that PBC can sometimes be slow on announcing the undercard. Now, it had been out there for a while that Jesus Ramos was going to face Erickson Lubin. We heard this, yet they had not confirmed it. And they confirmed it probably, maybe 3 weeks or a month before the fight actually happened, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think, so I got a couple of opinions on that. Number one, so when you think about it, this isn't unusual relative to PBC to have not announced the undercard just based off what we saw with Jermall Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. So this isn't new. This is kind of their operating model to some extent. I can't say that for every fight because I can't remember the details of every undercard for every fight, but it feels like this is not something that's necessarily unusual relative to PBC. So, so he probably shouldn't. Yeah. He probably shouldn't have expected them to already have a press conference for him, considering he's on the undercard. But then you can also argue, and this is just my personal opinion in regards to this, I think PBC waits too long to make the undercards official. Like, dude, and this is no shade to PBC. I'm pretty sure like they know way more about throwing boxing events and promoting boxing events than I do. And I know they're not promoters necessarily, and Tom Brown Promotions and all other promoters actually handle the promotion part of it. And PBC more is like I guess a management entity, if you will. But, dude, there were people that were coming into the comment sections on our videos, on our polls, saying that they didn't even know Erickson Lubin was fighting Jesus Ramos. They didn't even know it. And this was like a week, 2 weeks outside of the fight. People are saying, oh, I didn't even know that was only a part of the undercard. So I can understand Jermall's frustration with not actually speaking to the fact that this fight is supposed to be on the undercard. Now, I don't know if there's things that still need to be ironed out that Jermall is not aware of, but of course he's going to be closer to the situation than any of us. But why not go ahead and announce that fight, considering you have Jermall Charlo, who's a name in the sport of boxing, facing Jose Benavidez. And although it's not necessarily the most intriguing fight, we haven't seen Jermall in 2 years. So people are interested in knowing that he's coming back. So why not announce that as soon as possible, if that is in fact happening? Now, we heard David Benavidez mention it, but we haven't heard PBC or anybody from Showtime mention it, right? Nobody or anybody from, any promotional entity like Tom Brown Promotion announced this fight. So I get his gripe. I don't know if this is the correct way to express his grievance, but I do understand. And that is the reason why, we've heard in the last couple of videos, at least the ones that have gotten a lot of exposure, where his wife is telling him to get off the live, essentially before he gets himself in trouble. So, Jay, what's your thoughts on what Jermall Charlo had to say in regards to Showtime Sports?
Man, I don't know what's going on with Maul. I mean, he's almost acting like a little kid hiding the car away from his mama. Trying to do something he knew he shouldn't have been doing. Because when she knocked on the window, he was like he was caught. But I don't think he should have said that. He's almost making it seem like they're trying to blackball him or keep him out, but that doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, this is one of their last cards. This is their last pay-per-view card of the year, or one or two of them. I think one of the two last cards of the year for Showtime. So why would they want to not promote this card? They want to go out with a bang, I would imagine. And like you said, we haven't seen him in 2 years, so some people are intrigued on what he's going to look like. So I'm quite sure they're going to promote it when they need to. I mean, it's a little less than 4 weeks out. He knows he's fighting already, so he should already be training. That's what he needs to know. He knows he's fighting. He has a fight coming up, so he needs to be preparing for that. And to your point, with the undercards, they usually put the undercards and talk about that a little bit late in the game. That's just the way they've done all year, or for the longest, to my knowledge. So, and he's not the main attraction. So he's getting treated like the B, C attraction on that card. He's not even a co-main, really. He has a good resume, title champion and whatnot, but he hasn't been around in 2 years. So I don't think he should have said what he said. I'm glad his wife or whoever the lady was, she was trying to tell him to get up to live because he needed to. Because I think if he had stayed on there, I think he would have gone further deep, going off the deep end and made things worse for his situation. So right now he should just be focusing on training. You can get on live if you want to, but don't talk bad about the company that's actually putting money in your pockets. And they've been good to you. I mean, for you to be out for 2.5 years, and they're gonna bring you on a fight just like this, and they're giving you a decent competition, and Jose Benavidez Jr. I mean, he needs to be just grateful that they stuck by him through all his ups and downs, and just go out there and put on a hell of a show.
Yep, I don't disagree. You just don't want to create an issue with people who essentially you're in business with, right? And I do understand that they will no longer be in business with Showtime in the near future. But I mean, what does that say to other networks that would, end up doing business with the PBC? So, you don't want to do this as a fighter and try to call out the networks because other networks will see it. And I'm pretty sure that, PBC they already got a network deal, and whoever that network entity is, they see things like this and they're just thinking to themselves, wow, hope this isn't what we're getting.
They're not going to promote him.
There you go. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to what Jermall Charlo had to say relative to Showtime. I don't think it was the correct way to handle it, but I do understand the frustration. And to me, Showtime, PBC, Tom Brown Promotions, or whoever's doing it, I think it's Tom Brown Promotion. He's typically the promoter. But start announcing these undercards earlier, guys. Like, fans are unaware that these fights are occurring and these are really good fights. So make sure you start announcing those things earlier so people understand that. And I think that'll help drive the pay-per-view numbers, in my personal opinion, because, some people do. When you stack the undercard and you have intriguing, interesting fights there, people will buy it and people are interested in seeing those fights. So you guys tell us what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are